have a slave, would it not? Someone just to like cook for you and clean for you, pick you up. You don't gotta pay for them.
What is going on, guys? So today we are going to be talking about somebody who used to be somewhat talked about or known, at least on YouTube. You know, very kind of controversial person at the time. Not really. She did some weird ass things. People kind of got on her ass, especially the commentary community. You know, it was big back in like 2018 when it was really fun to do that and just hop on random ass people and shit like that. And you know, this is mainly because she made a parody of Donald Glover's song, This Is America. You know, obviously pretty good song. The message, pretty, you know, it delivers a message in a really good way that, you know, isn't like too in your face. But it's also pretty impactful when you, you know, understand all the symbolism and shit. You know, really fucking good piece of art right there, right? Music video is insane. Song is insane. Lyrically and music-wise, like, it's really good. But she went ahead and made a, you know, a parody of it. And it was basically her just, like, singing about rape in her area and shit. You know, we'll play the fucking clip, right?
Mammy ho, why we even just wanna be pretty and ask to go.
This is America. We'll say North America. This is America. Got rape in my area. You got a drink? Yeah. The roofies got into your cuz. Hey, look how I'm spitting truth. Ow, I'm so trendy. Yeah, I wear Fendi. Yeah, I'm so sexy. I'm gonna get it. Yeah. Well, these my titties. That's my tool. Rather be the Taliban.
Yeah, so, you know, basically you could see, like, you know, same concept, same song pretty much, just she changed it to be more women-focused, which there's nothing wrong with that, but she did it in such a strange way and talked about such weird fucking issues in it that it didn't hit. Plus, it was, like, taking away from something that was, you know, I mean, a really good work of art, as I already, you know, expressed. But, you know, she's out here still. She's still doing things. She makes TikToks now. So, you know, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into her TikTok. So let's go ahead and play the first one right now.
Yeah, woo! Put your hands up. I'm just kidding. All the bitches in here with Botox, raise your eyebrows. Just kidding. You can't. You can't. You can't do it. That's okay. We're all there. We look nice.
So this first one, you may be thinking, oh, Skeleton Key, this isn't that bad. Did this really deserve a video? And to that I say, keep watching, because, you know, we'll get into a little more spicy ones. In fact, we actually have a spicy one up next. But yeah, you know, basically just starting off some like Amy Schumer-esque humor. You know, it's not funny. Nobody's really laughing at this. I understand that comedy is subjective, right? You know, like maybe somebody found that really funny, but you know, 90% of people aren't going to find that funny, especially if you aren't like a woman. You aren't going to find that funny in any way, shape, or form. You know, it's just like, oh wow, Botox, hilarious. And even you could kind of even tell, like even the women in the audience are kind of like, ha, that was a good one. I can't raise my eyebrows because I have Botox. Ha. Like, you know, nobody was really like fucking cracking up about that. Like, oh my God, that shit got me. That shit was funny as fuck. Nobody's doing that to this joke. But, you know, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is one of her takes on something. And this is where it goes downhill.
And now people are mad at me for making jokes about Nike because they're like, oh, you're pro-slavery. No, I'm not pro-slavery. If I were pro-slavery, I would have a slave. I would have a slave. It would be very convenient to have a slave, would it not? Someone just to like cook for you and clean for you, pick you up. You don't gotta pay for them. A mom.
It'd be very convenient to have a full-time mom. They need to get paid more.
So now I'm sure that I probably don't have to explain to you how, like, you know, insensitive that kind of is to just throw out there in the middle of nowhere, like, oh, I'm not pro-slavery, I'm not pro, you know, it's like, oh, I'm not racist, I have black friends. That's basically what we're on here, you know, we're on the same fucking, same goddamn idea, basically. But, you know, this is where she gets a little more interesting. Now, I don't really understand her political views fully. She used to shit on fat people, then she didn't shit on fat people, then she shits on fat people, you know, or same with like gay people or any other LGBTQ member. She does the same thing. She kind of flip-flops. And at the same time, when she's being supportive of it, I don't know if she's really, it kind of feels more sarcastic in a way. I don't really know. She likes to do these weird ass optics games all the time. And, you know, same with this, where she's like, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I'm assuming what happened here is she made some jokes, you know, about like fucking slavery or something dumb, something that had to do with Nike, some dumbass joke that probably you just shouldn't make, especially if you're her, because her her comedic delivery does not fucking work. You know, it works for some comedians, right? It works really well, you know, if you can deliver well, you can oftentimes push a message or, you know, make a joke without it feeling like you're pushing a message, you know, because it's good, it's comedic, it rolls off, it's delivered well, everything goes well. She doesn't do that. So chances are she probably got called out for that. And then she's like, oh, I'm not you know, if I was pro-slavery, I'd own a slave, which is just a wild fucking take because, I mean, I don't really want to like sit here and give a whole fucking history lesson. Just know that, you know, a solid majority of the people who were pro-slavery, you know, in the South and shit, didn't own slaves. You know, a lot of fucking people down there were like just pretty working to lower class people. They didn't have slaves. It was kind of only like the super rich people. However, these people were still massively racist and fucking wanted slaves. You know, if they could have had slaves, they fucking would have. And so that obviously made them still pro-slavery, right? I'm not saying that was everybody, just, you know, a good majority of people at the time. And so when she says dumbass shit like, oh, if I was pro-slavery, I'd have a slave. You know, it makes it sound like, oh, every pro-slavery person must be somebody with a slave. But what makes it worse is that she just goes in to really list like, oh, you know, being a slave would be great for this. Oh, and it would be great if I had a slave for that. Oh, and that too. It's like, that's fucked. You know, that's why? You know, you didn't have to do that. And honestly, you just made yourself look fucking worse. Like, I know you were trying to cover up some shit, but it made you look worse somehow. So, you know, I don't know. You know, big fucking L for Nicole Arbour. We're at 2 L's so far. Let's keep moving on, though.
Babe, she's just a friend. Okay,
Yeah.
so don't make this weird.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Hey, Ashley. Hey.
How are you? Nice to meet
I'm
you.
good. Yeah, good to see you. Don't be jealous. Chemistry we have is a friend chemistry.
It's my
that's
ride
all.
or die. Yeah.
I would die for you.
And I've ridden him.
Don't be jealous.
But you guys are
make it-
you're just friends. That's it. Like
Just friends.
you've never done anything? Not today.
Don't be jealous.
They're just friends.
They're not friends.
All right, so this one isn't like, you know, that bad, right? It's all right. It's just some Vine era like type shit, you know. Oh, they're just friends. Oh, it's my boyfriend with his girl best friend. Oh my God, don't get jealous. They're probably not fucking, right? It's like, it's just some dumbass shit, you know, like, who really cares? I mean, like, that's not what I mean, but like, there's never been a situation where like it's actually like this, right? You know, and I don't know, man, you know, it's so weird. It's such a dumb thing to make a skit about. Like, I don't know. It's not funny to me, right? I didn't find it funny. I didn't laugh. So, it probably sucks because my opinion is the only opinion that matters. But, yeah, given some of the other shit we've taken a look at, now we will take a look at, I mean, it's shitty, right? I mean, somebody agree with me, please. But moving on to the next one.
Sha'Carri Richardson, fastest woman in the world, is no longer allowed to compete in the Olympics because she smoked a bit of weed after her mom passed away. She was stressed out. People are saying, oh, Nicole's the Olympics, the rules, everybody has to abide by the rules. Yeah, that would make sense if there weren't chicks with dicks competing this year. There are chicks with actual dicks. You're telling me that that's not performance enhancing, but smoking a bit of weed is? It'd be performance enhancing if it were an eating contest, but she's running. Smoking weed a month before the Olympics is not going to enhance anything. We have gone full loco. Sorry about that, Sha'Carri is stupid. And to all the women with penises competing against the ladies, it's fair play. We're stupid.
Oh, no. So, you had me in the first half. Not going to lie, right? Nicole Arbour, she had me in the first half. She was like, oh, yeah, she got kicked out of the Olympics because she smoked a bit of weed. Now, weed, not exactly the most performance-enhancing drug out there, doesn't do a whole lot. And if anything, when it comes to running, it'd probably slow you down more than it would speed you up, right? It's not like she snorted a line of cocaine and that's going to be, or is on steroids or some shit, and that's going to be helping her out, right? So, okay, I get the point being made there. Should she have been kicked out? Technically, yes, because it's the Olympic rules. However, I understand where Nicole Arbour is coming from. Now, all of a sudden, we took a wild fucking turn. And she decided, hey, fuck transgender people, right? Because they're still allowed to compete. And it's like, oh, no. And actually, she didn't even call them that. She called them women with penises, I believe, and then referred to ladies separately, which is kind of a weird dig, but all right. And I don't know, man. I don't know, right? I understand when people are like, oh, well, they get performance advantages. They're going to be running quicker. And I could understand how from, a pretty average Joe standpoint, you would see that and think, yeah, that I can see how that's true. That might be a little unfair, right? I completely understand that. However, when you really look into it, it's not as unfair as it, might appear on the surface. First of all, there were only two big ones, I believe, that actually competed in the Tokyo Olympics. There was a soccer player who was, born as a female and is non-binary. So it's not even like the craziest switch in the world there. And the other one, I believe, is a transgender woman. So born a male, obviously a female now. And she was in weightlifting, right? She wasn't in running. And, she didn't win the fucking gold, and this is because, when you are transgender and when you do go through things that many of these athletes have gone through, namely HRT or hormone replacement therapy, if you were born a male and you go through HRT, you're going to lose a shit ton of the advantages that a male would have, for example, had in a, female sport, right? Because you're going to be on estrogen and testosterone blockers and shit like that. And that's going to really fuck you up when it comes to muscle mass and shit like that. It's not going to be there. It's actually going to be much more similar to a girl at that point than it is to a guy. If you threw them into men's sports, they would be fucked. I mean, they wouldn't stand a chance, right? It would be like this big fucking testosterone coursing through the veins male up against this, somebody who's been on HRT and is transitioning, shit like that, right? It's not going to go well. They don't have a whole lot of testosterone. They don't really get a big fucking advantage, okay? You know, it's not as big as it would seem when you really look into it. And like I said, they didn't end up even like winning golds or anything crazy, you know? Like they did well, but they didn't do like insanely well. It's not like the other women they were competing against couldn't keep up. In fact, from the United States, one of the runners, so I guess more akin to Nicole Arbour's point, or I guess falls under the umbrella a little better, one of the runners did not even actually qualify for the Olympics. So, you know, we kind of went off the rails here, Nicole Arbour. You know, you kind of went off the rails. It was a good starting point. I really liked the starting point. It started off well, and then it took a fucking nosedive. So, another spicy take from Nicole Arbour that not a good one. To say the very least, not a good one. But let's go ahead and move on to the next clip.
So we know all of the Taliban leaders are together in Kabul right now. Together. Accessible by drones. Bombs. Good old-fashioned planes. Together. In the same city. Together. Just saying.
Oh no, Nicole, we've had another lapse in brain working. You know, the brain just failed to work again for you. It seems to happen a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, you know, so yes, yeah, they were all in the same city. Look at that. That's crazy. I don't know if that's actually true, but we're just gonna say it's true. And she's like, just fucking drone strike the whole goddamn, drone strike them all. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't think she understands that there's political ramifications and Joe Biden can't just go, hey, fuck it, let's just eliminate them all. You know, just send a fucking, Hellfire missile in there, take care of that shit. Get my goddamn Call of Duty kill streak. Let's fucking go. Terrorism solved. The world peace. That's not how it fucking works. It's not how it works. It would be nice if, terrorist leaders didn't exist, obviously. I don't think there's a whole lot of people who are, super in support of them. But, you can't just fucking bomb them in Kabul, right? Kabul, I believe it's Afghanistan. I could be wrong. Don't flame me in the comments if I don't know my shit. I think it's Afghanistan, though. So that's what I'm going to be saying. One of the biggest fucking cities in Afghanistan, actually, I believe the biggest. You can't just fucking bomb that shit. You can't just fucking carpet bomb it and be like, oh, let's hope all the terrorists died. Because, that's not how that works. You can't just destroy a fucking whole major city that has a shit ton of people living in it. Because, believe it or not, Nicole Arbour, they're real people there. There's real people living there in their homes trying to do their fucking thing that aren't terrorists in the same way that there's people living here, right? So, newsflash, Nicole, it doesn't work like that. That's basically the point to take away from that. And I do believe that is the last one. So, if you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button. Do not go fucking hate on Nicole Arbour or anything like that. She gets a fucking enough of it already, if I'm being honest. So don't go add to it. It's not needed. She's kind of dumb, but, you don't have to go fucking say something to her. Just talk about it in the comment section or, other shit like that, right? Don't fucking go attack her. But, yes, thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot to me, as always. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.